Okay, we
Uh,
are officially recording. Would you like to share your screen again?
yes, I will go ahead. Uh, did I click the button? Yes.
I
Okay.
think
You can see my screen?
I can. Okay, let
Okay.
me go to my notes. So, the first task in this scenario, you're a student in Lambda School and you're
Okay.
having an issue with your student lead and you need to request help from student success. So, from this
Okay.
app, where would you go to report that and request that support?
Um, so I would think if the category that I'm looking for isn't in the categories, I would maybe begin typing. Um, so it seems to have worked. I'm having a problem with my SL. Um, I'm glad that they're sorry to hear that, and pretty straightforward to create a ticket. I would assume that this would be more of a button, so it's a little bit more a little bit clearer that I should click on it. Because right now I read this and then my eyes immediately go to the scribble, but that might be a button. So I'm going to create a ticket and then having an issue, selecting my student lead and then describing the issue. I don't feel the need to remain anonymous, so I'm going to go ahead and submit my ticket. And
Great.
I think that's it.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so the next step would be you want to go ahead and review your ticket. And I was wondering if you could tell me what next action you feel like you should take once you're on your ticket page.
Okay. So I would think that I would just go ahead and click on that whole section, and it worked. Um, and then what would I do? It looks like I have a new message, so would read the message, and then it's when the issue began. So I would think I would click on this maybe. It's not super clear to me where, like, is this a card that I click on? Do I click on the plus button? So I don't click on the card. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on the plus button and type my message. And I guess that's it. It just sends automatically. Yeah, I
That's
think
just a
it's,
prototype thing. Would you go
okay.
ahead and click the message again?
Yeah,
I need to adjust that setting in the prototype.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Okay, cool. It says message sent. Um, Looking at this from like the way I'm used to messaging and emails and whatnot, it's a little bit weird to me that the messages are like the newest one is on top and the oldest one. I would think it would be more like Messenger or iMessage where it's like different, like a conversation. And even like with emails, you've got the most recent email is what you see first, and then above that are older messages. Um,
Great.
but
That's very helpful. Thank you.
yeah, yeah. Other than that,
Um,
it's like it looks good so far.
okay, so for our next task, I just have maybe one or two more. If you would go back to the queue for me.
Okay, I would assume I would do that
Hmm,
maybe.
that's a
No,
prototype issue. If you just click
okay,
home, that's fine. That
okay,
should do that.
okay.
Okay. And in this situation, you've just been assigned to be a TL. Yay, congratulations.
Great, thanks.
Um, where would you go if you needed to go ahead and switch over to being a TL within this app?
I would assume since there's not like a profile thing, I would probably go to settings, um, which doesn't necessarily seem like it worked. Um,
So within the just the prototype, we've been using the term helper for
Okay.
like any kind of anything
Okay.
other than a student, basically.
Okay. So then I would click on helper view and then probably go home. So on that page, just to go back to here, I understand that it's turning on, but it might be helpful to have language that's like viewing this as or like you're currently logged in as a student or you're currently logged in as a helper. Because when I look at this, I'm like, okay, helper view requires permission. And then when I click at student view, this makes me think that I'm working within a student view right now. So just as a note, but now that that's turned on, I will go home and I can see my dashboard.
Great, thank you. Okay, and then I think from here, most of the experiences are going to be really similar within this prototype, so we can go ahead and wrap it up.
Okay.
Are there any other things that you found really confusing that you didn't mention, or maybe questions you had for me?
I don't think so. This to me, it looks a lot like a progress bar with the loading. So it's not maybe like an underline under the text instead of this solid bar would be clearer. And then I assume like this button would be some kind of filtering. I do think it's always helpful to have, like, since you do have here, you've got a home button and the word home, maybe having some unity there so that there's, like, if this is a filter, it says filter, and then this maybe has a settings label, even though I think that might not be necessary. Your testing will show that because everybody, well, maybe not everybody, but pretty much everybody, at least everyone at Lambda knows that the cog means settings. But
That's a really good point.
I think it looks great. It's like a really great start. And I agree that ideating is the most fun part. So
Yeah, this has definitely been an experience. It's been fun. That was a
yeah,
very helpful interview. Thank you so much. I have lots of notes and things to adjust.
you're welcome.
Do you mind if I follow up with you if I have any other questions or another version to show you?
Please do. I'm happy to help out in any way that I can.
Thank you so much, Harper,
You're
and
welcome.
congratulations on being a TL. I'm so excited for
Thank
you.
you. Yeah, it's a lot of training, a lot of lectures. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I know you're going to do a great job.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, don't hesitate to reach out if you have any more questions.
All right. Thank you so much.
So
I'm just going to